All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna start with some playoff finals predictions. Nilay, who are your top three contenders from each conference?
So from the Eastern Conference, I would have to go with Celtics, obviously.
Are
The
these in
Milwaukee
order?
Bucks. Yeah, in order.
Okay. Okay.
The Celtics first, Bucks second,
Hmm.
and with the third place, I would go with the Miami Heat. Just
Hmm.
because they always end up surprising everybody and come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And playoff Butler, playoff
Oh
Jimmy.
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you never know. I feel like the East only has two teams, and only if the Heat pick it up, it'll be a third team. Yeah.
So with the East, I was actually thinking in my mind the same thing, where I was like, okay, so Celtics first, Bucks second, and then oh, I'm gonna surprise Nile, he's not gonna see it coming, but I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat. And then you stole my
Shocking.
thunder. You stole my thunder. Like in my mind, I had prepped the whole thing. I was like, dude, okay, so you're not gonna see this one coming because everyone's gonna think I'm gonna pick Philadelphia or like the Knicks or something, because they're like
Yeah,
even the Cavs maybe. First, I was thinking,
exactly.
so Heat for the exact same reasons you said. I might even actually put Heat number two, man, because you never know. I mean, last year they did all this with an old Kyle Lowry and no Tyler Hero. This year they don't have an old Kyle Lowry and they have a proper scorer in Rozier who's played in big games, in conference final games against like Braun and all these things, and he went off. And you'll most likely have a healthier Tyler Hero. So I never wanna not mention playoff Jimmy and even playoff Bam, dude. Like these dudes have done it consistently over the last 4 years, and I, I might even put them like on par with Celtics. Like Celtics, they've been the best team in the whole league this whole year, but I don't know how much I trust Tatum in the clutch. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I don't know how much they're going to shrink. I know last year Jalen Brown's free agency was a big factor, so maybe that played into them not playing that well. But again, that whole conversation is going to spring up if they don't perform. Like they have to win the championship, I think, in my opinion, for this to be a success for them. But yeah, and a sleeper team. I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I'm gonna go with Pacers.
The Pacers. Why the
Yeah,
Pacers?
I think Halliburton is going off. Like the way that dude is like a floor general, and the way he orchestrates offense is amazing. And because he's such a good scorer, I think they have a shot. Like I think an injury here, an injury there, and they can be like the Hawks were in 2021, where they just sort of went all the way to the conference finals against the Bucks, and they took the Bucks to 6 games. And I think they've beaten the Bucks every time, man. And I don't know what Giannis's injuries. I mean, he played the last game, but I don't know what his injury, if it flares up again. I don't know if Dame. This is the first time we're going to see Dame with actual playoff pressure, and I love Dame, but he has shrunk in those moments in some times. And I think this is in his entire NBA career. This is going to be the first time that he's actually going to have like actual pressure on him that he has to win the championship, like not just get to the finals. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's Celtics is an obvious choice. Bucks is an obvious second
Mm.
for most people. I think I guess me and you are on the same page for number three. I would say that the Celtics really have to screw up to lose this year.
Yeah.
They have to really screw up to lose this year. I think they're way ahead of everyone, unless the Bucks, Dame works out for the Bucks and Middleton comes back.
Mm.
And if Middleton comes back and Dame is playing well with Giannis, then
Mm.
I feel like the Bucks can push the Celtics as well. But
Yeah.
other than those two, and other than the Heat, like really popping off, I do not see anybody coming close to them.
What do you think if Embiid comes back healthy?
I feel like it's too late. I feel like if Embiid
Mm.
comes back, he's not going to be on form. And I feel like the 76ers are just going to rush him for no reason. They might as well
Yeah.
just rest him,
Right.
let him fully recover instead of, like it further aggravating and then screwing up like the following seasons.
Mm.
Like he's been out, and I think he's scheduled to be out for at least another one more month. So I would
Oh,
say
really? I
that's
thought he was gonna come back sooner than that.
From what I've read, he's gonna take some more time to come back, and the
Mm.
76ers are even considering him to just bench him for the rest of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I feel like they should because I
Mm.
feel like his injury, he's so injury prone that you
That's
don't want to further aggravate it.
That's the thing where I'm on the other side, but for the same reasons. Like, I think he's so injury prone where I feel like any chance you get, you have to play him because you don't know what he's going to be like next year, you know? Where it's like he was having like the most insane year this whole in the beginning of the season. And then he gets hurt. And it's like he could have been back to back MVP had he been playing the same way he was playing in the beginning of the season. And I feel like
Yeah, I agree.
he's kind of like Kawhi Leonard in that sense, where it's like if he's playing, like just let him play. Because if you sit him out this year, it's like you have no idea what you're gonna get next year with him. You know.
That's a good point. That's
You know.
actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just never know what you're gonna get. So you might as well just play them. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard. They're so
Yeah.
injury prone that whatever you can get from them, just let them
Exactly.
go ahead.
And I
Yeah.
don't
I
think Philadelphia has like a proper, like they have Maxi who's coming into his own, but I don't know if he's fully there as a secondary player. And they actually have not still substituted James Harden for another like a fringe star. You know, I don't know if Tobias Harris will be the third player, but the whole plan was like, oh, they're gonna trade Harden, but they still have enough cap room to add like a third player, like a Siakam type of a player who they didn't. So I don't know how far they can get even with Embiid this year.
yeah.
Mm.
I feel like Embiid was definitely playing like an MVP this season for
Mm.
sure. It's unfortunate what has happened to him because I do feel this was his best year, and I do feel like he did not deserve to win MVP last year.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like I feel like they gave it to him just because
He had been campaigning for it.
he was campaigning for it, he was crying for it, and they just had to give it to someone other than the
Yeah.
Joker. But
Yeah.
I do feel Joker was better last year. I think
Mm.
Embiid was better than Joker this year so far.
Mm.
But the thing with Joker is he's always so consistent that by the end of the
Yeah.
season, he always ends up being the best player.
Yeah. And it becomes boring after some time. It's the same like LeBron,
He's
Giannis
he's
earlier
gonna get the
effect.
LeBron treatment. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where it's like, oh, come on,
Uh,
man. We can't just keep giving this dude who's like, who doesn't even care about it that much. Like, in the sense, like, where his personality is in the one, like, where, like, guys like Embiid are like, you know, I really want the MVP. I really want the MVP. Joker's like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just want to win the championship.
exactly. He just wants to ride horses.
Yeah,
That's all he
exactly.
wants to do.